Greetings and salutations, everybody. Got another quick one here as I welcome you to another entry as I work my way through this set of the 28 films in that Coffin collection of Elvira's movie Macabre. For this entry, we're going to go a little ways back to the early 60s with the 1963 Roger Corman film The Terror, starring Jack Nicholson and Boris Karloff. The synopsis for this film is as follows. A French army officer, Lieutenant Duvalier, has been separated from his unit and receives help from a mysterious woman. He follows her to the castle of Baron Von Lepp, only to find that she is a baron's wife who died 20 years ago. So, as usual, I start with the film itself before kind of diving into the Elvira aspect of this presentation. So for this one, like many older films, which aren't frequently talked about as being classics or anything along those lines, which have stood the test of time, I still just try to go into ones like this very open-minded, ready to pay attention, treat it like any other film. But this was very difficult. So, as I've mentioned in other throwback films, throwback videos or films from this time frame, I did enjoy the overall look, and how color was produced, even though the quality of this transfer wasn't really all that great. And the set design and so on. They definitely have a nice feel to it. And as for the actors, everything was fine. Jack Nicholson and Boris Karloff did fine with the material that they had. And it took me a while to actually recognize that Dick Miller is also in this. You may remember him from stuff like Gremlins and about 1,000 other films over the years. But the first 20 minutes of the film were okay. I was pretty much on board. They set up this nice little mystery and everything for this story, which was kind of creepy. And I was eager to work my way through to see what the outcome is. But it really starts dragging, and no matter how much on board I was to see what's happening with the mystery of this woman and this count, it was very difficult to pay attention. It was just slowly kind of plodding along, and I was just really losing interest in it very quickly. So by the time we kind of work our way through this mystery of this girl and the Baron, I just cared less and less, and I can understand why nobody really speaks of this film these days. I mean, they churned out a lot back then, and they really can't all be winners. Now, as for the Elvira aspect of this, her little pop-ins and commercial breaks, they really couldn't even save this one. Part of her shtick for this show was, for this entry in her show, was to show how slow and boring this film is, and just how plain bad it is, how much she didn't really enjoy it. But that was about it. She didn't really have any big skits going on or sketches. It wasn't as much fun as some of the other ones. We do get some funny pop-ins and a little bit of commentary around the commercial breaks, but overall there just wasn't really much there. It was like she was so bored with just hosting this film that there wasn't much inspiration to really do more with it. Like, something you can only make so many jokes about before running out of material. Her humor was stretched really thin. Similar to how this film seems like maybe the story is worth about 40 minutes, but it was stretched out to fit an entire 85-minute runtime. Still, this one was a bit more interesting as a film goes than the I Eat Your Skin. It was, filmed better, at least a better transfer than The Werewolf of Washington, but it wasn't as much fun as Werewolf of Washington or Night of the Living Dead, or even The Satanic Rites of Dracula. Out of the ones in the set, I give this one the slightest bump over I Eat Your Skin, so I guess from that, though I don't think I will really be revisiting this film anytime down the line, overall it was still kind of an interesting one worth popping in to check out. And speaking of checking out, thanks for checking out this very quick little video for the latest entry for The Terror from 1963, starring Jack Nicholson and Boris Karloff and Dick Miller, which at the time of this recording is available on Tubi if you want to check it out. Like I said, it is very slow, and I'd checked it out in the Coffin collection from Elvira's movie Macabre. Like I said, they can't all be winners. Same with Elvira's presentations in general. If she doesn't really have a lot to work with, I think we'll get a little lackluster entry like this every now and then. But, if there's only so much to kind of poke fun of, she can't even really turn this into much of a pleasurable viewing. But luckily, there have been entries which I've really enjoyed so far, and there are about 23 more in this set. So there's definitely a lot to be sure to like, subscribe, and stick around to the end for, because I got more coming. So anyways, that's about all I got for this one. Thanks for coming by, and I will see you in the next one.